Timon Kalashinsky and Sebastian Weyer both undefeated through 2 rounds, ready to go head-to-head in this best-of-5 sets of first-to-3 solves. Competitors will alternate starting solves and starting sets. Timon, with the faster median in the previous round, chose to start second.
Is this the scramble order using?
Yeah, that's the scramble.
Quite a few pauses for Sebastian to start. Able to salvage something out of that, but a 788's not going to be hard for Timon to beat.
Correct.
Philip,
15-second warning.
I'm going second.
Philip already went. Sebastian already went.
Oh, well, what did he get? Because the preview is broken.
788.
Start.
And Timon locking up as well, but extremely efficient 654. What slow turning resulting in a fast time. Completely safetied 654, and Timon will easily take that first solve.
Start.
8 seconds.
Correct.
Well, the slow turning strategy that worked in Solve 1 seems to have collapsed epically in Solve 2. An 11? How?
15-second warning.
Anything can happen, and well, Sebastian could beat this solve one-handed. Let's see what he can do. Much faster turn speed, and before the match, Sebastian was warming up while Timon was just playing Fall Guys. A slightly different approach. It'll be interesting to see which warm-up strategy pays off, but so far it looks like Timon has no turning speed, and if his efficiency gets messed up, well, the solve is gone.
Oh, you can go ahead and scramble the next one. Could you bring the white side out a little bit more? Just
Stop point?
Correct.
Correct. 15-second warning.
Both these competitors have yet to lose in the season, both undefeated 2-0. And Sebastian locking up on his cross +1, but finishing smoothly with a 756. So that start mishap cost him quite a bit of time, but the rest of the solve was pretty solid. Timon gonna have to try and safety this one to beat a 756.
Eight seconds.
And once again, Timon with the slow turning, but this time he's got a pretty efficient solve and a 716.
Oh my God,
but it looks like a +2, and a +2 for Timon, a 916. So Sebastian's gonna take that second solve. So Timon starting off with a 6, an 11, and a 9. And Sebastian starting off with some 7s. Well, it's an early lead for Sebastian. He'll try and take advantage of this free one that he just received. Try and take this first set.
Correct.
Correct. 15-second warning.
Start.
8 seconds.
Another smooth
15
solve by
second warning.
Timon, 640. And the efficiency there was remarkable. Timon, I guess, figuring that he doesn't need to turn his fastest today to
8
win this
seconds.
match, but Sebastian could definitely beat this 640. Let's see what he can do. Oh, and a nice solve from Sebastian. No, but the lockup cost him in a
I think
695. It was
may
right
have
there.
done the same solution.
Sebastian going to take that second solve, but as Timon going to take that second solve, but Sebastian definitely had an opportunity there and let it slip with that lockup on the last layer. Well, an even set, and this final solve means a lot. Gonna decide who wins the first set,
ahead and
and
scramble.
taking that 1-0 lead, especially with Timon starting off this slowly, could mean a lot for Sebastian's chances. A
Correct.
lot of people thinking that Timon is the huge favorite going into this match, but of course both competitors have won both their matches,
Correct.
even if it's against different caliber
15 second
opponents.
warning.
Well, Sebastian's going to start first here, letting Timon know what he needs to beat. Going to try and put down something unbeatable.
8 seconds.
Oh, and a smooth solve by Sebastian, but a lockup on the fourth pair, and a lockup in OLL and PLL, a 730. The efficiency was there, but the turning wasn't. Those lockups can cost like a quarter of a second each sometimes, and it adds up quickly.
Start.
Timon's going to have to try and beat a 730 to take this first set.
Eight seconds.
Oh, Timon. Safetying that 708.
3 minute
Gonna
break.
take the first set 3-2. And, he's putting us on the edge of our seats here, making our palms sweat. And Timon gonna start the second set, giving Sebastian
Correct.
the go second advantage. So
15
Timon's
second
gonna be more. He's gonna need to win some solves earlier on. Otherwise, he's gonna give Timon a lot of. Sorry, guys. He's gonna give Sebastian. Yeah. Well, Timon taking a
8
close look at
seconds.
this one.
12.
Using all of his inspection. His turning speed has picked up, and a beautiful solve from Timon, but an unfortunate Z-perm, netting him a 685. That
Second
Z-perm was like 3 turns per second there. Sebastian gonna try and beat the 685. White cross looks decent.
8 seconds.
There it is. A nice quick X cross there from Sebastian. Can he finish off the PLL? And a tie! Another tie! We had a tie in the match yesterday between Felix and Bill, and we have another tie in the match between Timon and Sebastian. That's going to count for 0 points, but what it will do is it will return the starting
Timon.
second advantage to Timon, as Sebastian had the starting
was
second advantage
the
in this
third decimal.
set, but because of this
Third
tie,
decimal, 2.
oh my
Junior's
goodness.
third decimal is a 2. On
The third
Sebastian.
decimal doesn't matter, it's a tie.
I can hold it in the stream.
Oh, okay.
The third decimal
Yeah,
doesn't matter, it's
third
a
decimal.
tie.
doesn't
Yeah,
count.
you're the third
It's
decimal.
0. It's 0 points.
You can go ahead and scramble.
Bruh, I cannot
So,
believe
did I win
this.
this one or not?
We had a tie
It's a
yesterday
tie.
when
The third
When-
decimal doesn't matter. They
Felix got a 7.10 and then Bill got a
just gonna be
7.10
one
right
more
after that. Now this time Timon gets a 6.85 and then Sebastian gets a 6.85. But because of the alternating starts, Sebastian
Correct.
once had the starting second advantage.
15 second
Well,
warning.
now he's he's going to start first, effectively starting the set over because 0 points for that tie.
Correct.
Eight seconds.
And Sebastian locking up a little bit, some hesitation in his F2L, and this is just a long solution. He's essentially given up. Oh, he's not even stopping the timer, and 11 for Sebastian. Super disappointed with that one.
Sorry.
And Timon is going to take his time and safety this one. And that's a safety solve if I've ever seen one. An 8.88 extreme safety. Taking absolutely no chances. And Timon taking the first solve with an 8.88 right after that tie.
There's a new scramble.
Sebastian does not look happy. Let's see if he can regain his form here in this next solve. I don't know whether to call it the third solve or the second solve, right? Because the first solve was a tie. So like it's as if it didn't happen, but
Correct.
it definitely did, and it does
15
affect what's
seconds.
going on here.
Sorry.
8 seconds.
And Timon once again with the slow turning and a very smooth
15-second warning.
690, taking no chances today. His turning looks inspired by like Nom style, you know, just slow, consistent, and high efficiency.
8 seconds. 12.
Sebastian going for some faster turning and a really smooth F2L to OLL transition and a 546 for Sebastian. What a beautiful solve. Incredible turning and great look ahead there from Sebastian. Taking that second solve with a 546.
You can go ahead and scramble.
OMG, the turn. Go.
Correct.
And an even set once again for Timon and Sebastian.
Correct.
If Sebastian
15
keeps
second
getting
warning.
mid fives, Timon's gonna have to increase his turn speed. I don't think he can beat those with the slow turning he's been demonstrating. But Sebastian's gonna have to keep up the
8
pressure
seconds.
here. Oh, and a pause before second. Yeah, that's not gonna do it for Sebastian. A lot of pauses in that F2L. And a
15 second
779. Just didn't see where the pieces were, and you know, at this kind of level, if you don't have exact understanding of where the pieces are, well, you got no shot to get a good time. And
3-second warning.
Sorry.
Timon's gonna try and beat this 768 with a safety solve.
8 seconds.
And a lockup, a lockup, a lockup, and
God.
Sebastian takes that one. The turning was too slow, the solve was too safe, and Sebastian's gonna take advantage of Timon's lack of focus. A 779 is gonna lose to that 768. Sebastian once again taking the third solve there. And Sebastian once
Thumbs up.
again leading the second set 2-1 in a
Okay,
similar
yes.
position as the last
What
set.
did you say?
The scramble's up now.
But
Yes,
will
the
he be
scramble-
able to
Okay.
close it out this time?
Sorry.
Well, once again, Timon's going to start first on this solve, and it's going to let Sebastian know what he needs to beat.
8 seconds.
Oh, smooth turning by Timon, a 582. Even with that last layer, and
Respect.
Sebastian just
Miss scramble.
bopping his head around, doesn't know how to feel about this. This is going to be a tough time to beat for Sebastian. A 582. That turning for Timon started off slow in the beginning of the match, but yeah, well, he's been picking it up gradually, warming up, and that 582 had really smooth turning. Really smooth.
Correct.
Well, here he goes. Sebastian Weyer knows the target to beat. If he can beat this 582, he will take the second set. Up 2-1 right now in the set. Oh, and the pause before second pair, and I think it's already over, and it is. A 682 for Sebastian, and you can't afford to pause at all to beat a 582. Well, once again, this is the same story as the last set. We are once again tied 2-2. But because of that tie at the beginning of the set, it's going to be exactly the same situation. Sebastian will start first, and Timon will know what he has to beat. Sebastian starting this final solve, giving Timon what he needs to beat. Well, let's see if he can make it an unbeatable time. Taking his time on the inspection. Oh, and relatively smooth. And a CLL from Sebastian, a 712. Interesting choice there on the OLL and PLL. Possibly hoping for a PLL skip there.
Start.
Oh, and Timon's turning extremely smooth. And the look ahead perfect. Another lockup on the R-perm, but a 673. We almost saw some flashbacks there to that solve where on the second solve or last solve, but well, Timon taking the second set 3-2. Wow. Another 3-minute break. And yeah, that was man, this is close. It's close, but it really feels like Timon just always winning.
15-second warning. Eight seconds.
Correct.
Oh man, that was a rough solve for
15-second
Sebastian.
warning.
The solve was bad going into PLL, and then the V perm just ruined everything.
Start.
Eight seconds.
That was such a
timeout?
safe, smooth solve by Timon, and a timeout taken.
All right, you've got 10 minutes.
There's a timeout. Timon's taking a timeout.
Okay.
Timon has ended his timeout, and he's gonna try and win this set.
Come on.
Start.
So
Go
should I
ahead.
scramble? Okay.
And Timon having some sort of what just
That was so bad.
Correct.
what? Huh? Okay, so Timon's paused for like a second at the start of the solve.
8 seconds.
Hmm.
Well,
Oh, Sebastian just could not quite get under that 638. And, well, Timon up 2-0 in the sets, 2-0 in the
go ahead and
points.
scramble, please.
Only needs one more solve to win the match. Timon zeroing with those pauses,
Correct.
leading into the most insane solutions. Proving that you don't need to be
Correct.
perfect at all or turn
15
fast
second
to
warning.
win every single solve. Sebastian is going to try and make a comeback back against the wall. Needs to win every solve now.
8 seconds.
And a pretty quick cross plus one for Sebastian. Looking really nice through the F2L and finishing with a 660.
15-second warning.
We'll see if Timon can beat this. If he can beat this 660, he's gonna win the match right here.
Start.
8 seconds.
Taking a look around the cube during F2L, and I don't think he's gonna get it. Yeah, the pausing at the beginning strategy worked last solve, but not 2 in a row, and Sebastian's gonna keep himself in this match. Down 2-1 now. Only needs to win 2 out of the next 2 solves.
Go ahead and scramble.
You can scramble.
Correct.
Correct. 15-second warning.
Start.
8 seconds.
Timon's still locking up, but the efficiency's so good. Getting at him at 669.
15-second warning.
Well, Sebastian once again needing to win this solve. 669 is the mark to beat.
8 seconds.
Oh, really smooth start. Oh, a beautiful F2L by Sebastian. Where's the last layer? And a 569. Absolutely clutch by Sebastian. What a solve. What a solve.
Go ahead and scramble.
And 2-2 in the sets again. Every single set has gone down to the final decider.
There's no
Every set
element
has been
scramble.
2-2. And once again, Timon will go second.
I see a lot of 2s.
15-second
on the
warning.
scoreboard.
Sebastian needs to put an unbeatable time down. What will his strategy be? The match on the line in this solve.
8 seconds.
A little bit of a lockup on the cross plus one, rotating quite a bit during this F2L, and finishing with a 7-14. And Timon has already reacted. He hasn't even started his inspection, he already reacted.
Start.
Sebastian leaving the door wide open. I've never seen someone react before starting inspection. Oh, and Timon's coming with the super smooth solve. And the J-Perm to finish in a 652. Timon takes every match 3-2. Timon takes the match 3-0. Every single set was 3-2. And a dominant clutch performance by Timon. Sebastian made a great run at there to make things close. And you know, every set was 3-2. But somehow Timon managed to win all of those final solves and win the match 3-0. GG's.
GG.
Yeah, this looked like a 3-0, but it was a lot more complicated than a 3-0. Every set was really complicated. Could you perhaps just give me and the viewing audience some of your thoughts going through this match, and maybe comment on the competitiveness?
I don't know. I felt like the first 2 sets were pretty terrible. Like, it was alright in the last set, but like the first two sets, I really wasn't happy with how I did.
Yeah, I wasn't performing too well, but I also came into the match like looking at Sebastian's previous results, knowing that I don't have to solve that well, considering what I can normally get. So I was just trying to keep calm and solve.
Yeah, trying to keep calm. It was interesting when you first started. You were turning much slower than what people normally expect. What made you want to do that? Was it the thing you just said, or is there any other reason?
Well, in the first set, I had the same issue as with Leo, where I took a timeout after one solve, so my hands were really sweaty. And I also, on the solves where I was going second, I think on basically all of those, it was like a really easy solve to get. So, yeah, that made me turn safer.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. Philip was talking about Nam. I'm sure you guys know Nam. He has a very methodical sort of style where he doesn't look like he's fast, and then he gets like a 5 or a 6. It's funny because you posted a video of Nam online a few days ago and asking like how the heck does he do that? Is that something you're trying to?
Well, I then posted a video on YouTube and then posted it under that post about Nam. So yeah, I practiced that for like 2 days, and I don't know. I figured out probably how he does it. And yeah, I practiced that for all. So yeah, but it kind of requires doing one-sided turning. Like you can't really use the left side of the cube much. So I don't really do it.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah, so for both of these competitors, they were undefeated coming into this match. What's the psychology behind that, knowing that both competitors are undefeated and that someone will be defeated by the end of this race? How does that feel when you get into a match like this?
I mean, I wasn't going into this like whole thing expecting like not being beaten at all. So I don't know. Feels
I mean,
all right.
like I basically came into it thinking the person that's gonna become defeated is not me.
Okay. Yeah, and talk to me about that tie you had in the second set. It was a 685, which is a pretty good time, but I'm sure you guys can do a lot better. Yeah, what were your first like gut reactions to a tie like this? Were you expecting it at all? I'm sure you weren't, right?
Well, I wasn't expecting it.
I'm used to very close ties, like not quite a tie.
I'm sure you are.
No, I don't know. I just didn't know like how that was going to be handled. I don't know. Maybe I didn't read the regs right. Maybe it's in there. I don't know.
Mm-mm. Yeah, ties are always interesting in head-to-head. In the WCA, you kind of just go, right? Yeah, because you just look at some other statistic like single. Yeah, like Sebastian's close, almost tie was viewed how many million times?
Oh, like 20 million.
20 million times? Yeah. So
probably even more.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's crazy how this like. I mean, the clip was what, like 10 seconds or something, or not even. It's crazy how that little space of time can be so exciting for people. But yeah, very cool.
That's what happens when you do head-to-head instead of what the WCA does.
Yeah, well, it's also I'm sure them being brothers made some
probably
impact too.
I mean, it's a very unlikely occurrence, but
oh yeah,
that's what's gonna happen when you do head-to-head.
Yeah, so that timeout that you got, I believe Timon initiated it. What were you thinking with the timeout? Were you just trying to get warm?
Well, I drank some water.
Gotcha.
Because I felt I'm kind of dehydrated, and then I put on the jacket because I was also a bit cold, and I just took some time to warm up on the cube.
Cool. Yeah, that's an appropriate timeout usage. Actually, in this format, everything is an appropriate timeout usage. So there are no rules for that. So we have a match coming up between Natty and Kevin. So I'm sure Sebastian knows Kevin. They're from they represent the same country, and Timon knows Maddie from racing them all a bunch of times, online keeping competitions. What is your prediction and any thoughts on that upcoming match?
Oh, I actually don't know too much about Maddie and his results, to be perfectly honest. But I'm rooting for Kevin.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
Germany represent.
Yes.
Normally, I would say that Matty is probably going to win, but looking at his first 2 rounds, it's not looking very good for him.
Mm.
He hasn't been able to handle the pressure very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
but Kevin's a qualifier, right? So maybe there's some psychological edge that Maddie can grab onto, knowing that the opponent is a qualifier. Who knows? Sometimes qualifiers are super driven to win because they feel like they've earned their spot. So maybe they're motivated to queue better. I don't know. And for the chat, I saw during the chat a lot of people ask about, hey, why don't we get competitors from some other country? I saw India being one of them. They should totally look into qualifying. And there is a chance for people to get into this event, just like Kevin.
If you're fast enough, you're gonna get in.
Yeah. And if you're not, like, you just get destroyed. I'm not sure it feels really good. But awesome. Do you guys have any just thoughts about how Monkey League is going for you personally so far? Any reflections that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I'm undefeated since season 1 started, so I mean, it's going very well, clearly.
Okay, and Seb, do you have any sort of comments on how your experience is going and what you're looking forward
I don't
to?
know. Sometimes it's more fun with some opponents, sometimes it's less fun with others.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for the race. It was actually really close. All those like moments when there was 2-2, I was at the edge of my seat trying to guess who would win, and it was really competitive. I know obviously there's solves that you can do better, but that's just the nature of head-to-head. Really anything can happen. So thank you for the competitors for being here. Thank you for the audience and the judges, delegate, and host. Hopefully you have a great time, and we'll be doing another race real soon, as we just discussed.
All right. Thank you.